Hey, this is the Ben and Gary Show. We know dentistry. This is episode number 32. And, one of the topics that I felt like we would talk about today was just the benefit of the new technology that's out there and relative cost on how that affects what we do. Some of these things that we are interested in and feel like would bring our practice up to another level of cost. And, one of the things that we found recently that has in the past, 2-3 years now, going from two-dimensional X-rays to three-dimensional X-rays. There's a tremendous amount that you lose when you're just looking at a flat object and knowing that that object is actually in 3 dimensions. That means several things are superimposed over each other, and you have to kind of guesstimate as to where they are in relation to other structures. Technically, what does that mean? We just can't see what we're really doing with 2 dimensions. And when you have 3D, which is what we have invested in a couple of years, and that's also known as a cone beam technology, or CBCT. That's essentially, in layman's terms, 3D X-ray.
Right.
And it allows us to be able to scan a person. What does that mean? They go into the X-ray booth, camera goes around their head for about 20 seconds, and out pops a 3-dimensional replica, an exact replica, of what their jaw or their bony structures look like.
Right.
For us, implants?
No, for implants it's huge.
God, I don't know
just
how people
being
do
able to see the bone volume, the bone width, height.
Where is it in relation? We can virtually put an implant and a tooth into that and understand where that is and where it is ideally, and just get it right as opposed to have to figure it out after you've done it maybe not so well.
Right. So in the far distant past, when we would do implant placements, and we just would go by the 2D films, guess what? We had a lot of surprises. And it worked out fine, but just knowing that we can pre-plan and find out everything that we need to know beforehand, and that way we can then
be efficient,
be much more efficient, and place the implant where we want it, and it just makes everything so much easier. And brings the stress level down considerably.
Nobody likes surprises in the middle of something like that. You want something like this to be very predictable, very methodically planned out.
Right.
And when you don't have an understanding of what the bone looks like, you have to say, we'll check it out when we get in there. Well, sometimes that doesn't really work so well. You might get lucky, but for the most part here, you may end up kind of planning what you're planning what to do, get in there and realize we can't even do what we're planning on. You have to, close up and start over in terms of the planning. Whereas, 3D, we can plan it ahead of time and know for sure what we can actually do and promise what we said we can, and deliver on what we said we could promise we could do.
Right.
So 3D X-rays, it's the wave of the future. Everybody used to talk about them, saying that wasn't the standard of care. It may not necessarily be the standard of care because these machines are not inexpensive.
Right.
I mean, they're definitely a 6-figure number when you want to get one of these in your office, but it's worth every penny of it as far as I'm concerned. If I'm a patient and a doctor is trying to do implants without one of these here, I have to say, you know what? It's been great knowing you here. We're going to have to find somebody else because I want you to be able to use the latest technology and what would allow for it to be a slam dunk. And so that's where we look at with 3-dimensional X-rays as being our secret weapon to be able to make it a slam dunk every time.
It is.
So just a little bit about what we do, some of the technology that we have on at our fingertips. This is the Ben and Gary Show.
It is.
We know dentistry. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.